Hi, and welcome to Skills for Health. Today we'll be discussing alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs. This is your Unit 5. Let's begin. Objectives for this unit? Well, after this lesson, you will be able to define some key terms related to alcohol use and abuse. Describe the effects of alcohol on the body. Describe the effects of alcohol on the emotions and mental processes. Describe the influences that encourage or discourage someone to drink alcohol. Analyze the messages in alcohol advertising. Assess resources for help with an alcohol problem. Alcohol affects the mind and body. Drinking alcohol can lead to a world of harmful consequences. Alcohol is a drug, and a drug is any substance other than food that changes the way your body or mind functions. Some of those consequences? Well, for starters, when someone has a problem with alcohol, his or her relationships, driving, schoolwork, and personal safety all can be endangered. But how can you tell when someone has a problem with alcohol? And where can that person or you go for help? Well, we'll look at some of these issues surrounding alcohol consumption and abuse, as well as what influences someone to drink in the first place. Things to know about alcohol. A common drug found in certain beverages is called alcohol. It is created by fermentation, a process in which yeast, sugar, and water are combined. There are different proofs of alcoholic beverages. Each alcoholic beverage has a proof, which is a measure of the amount of alcohol found in a container of liquor. The proof of a drink is double the percent of alcohol in the bottle. For example, an 80 proof vodka is 40% alcohol. Again, different kinds of alcoholic beverages contain different amounts of alcohol. So any notion of having just one drink is a very poor way to think about addressing alcoholic intake. Beer is made by fermentation. Again, the chemical process in which yeast, sugar, and water are combined to produce alcohol. Beer can be as low as 8 proof or higher. Liquor is usually 80 to 151 proof, and it's made by a process that raises the alcohol content, often through distillation. A few types of liquor are whiskey, bourbon, rye, rum, gin, vodka, tequila, and brandy. Wine is usually 24 to 28 proof, can be less, can be more, and it's made by fermentation of grapes or other fruits. Blood alcohol concentration, or BAC. Each alcoholic beverage has a proof, right? Which is a measure of the amount of alcohol found in a container of liquor. The proof of a drink is double the percent of alcohol in the bottle. For example, 80 proof vodka is 40% alcohol. Different kinds of alcoholic beverages contain different amounts of alcohol. So, any notion of having just one drink is a poor way to think about addressing alcoholic intake. You may have heard about this BAC, a blood alcohol concentration. This is the measure of the amount of alcohol in a person's blood. BAC is expressed as a percentage. Since 2005, the legal limit in all states is 0.08. It is a measure of the amount of alcohol, again, in a person's blood. Regarding BAC, the number of drinks has to do with your BAC. The more a person drinks, the higher the BAC. How fast a person drinks has to do with BAC. Drinking very quickly can lead to a higher BAC quicker. A BFC of 0.37% to 0.40% or higher can cause death. The type of alcohol you drink also has to do with BAC. Higher alcohol concentration in the drink speeds up the process of alcohol absorption by the body. Mixers. Water and fruit juices mixed with alcohol slow the process, while carbonated beverages like sodas mixed with alcohol speed up the absorption process. Your size and your gender also have a lot to do with blood alcohol concentration. BAC rises faster in females, in smaller and underweight people. So those of you who are female, who may be small frame or underweight, need to be really careful when drinking alcoholic beverages. Food in the stomach. BAC increases more slowly in a person with a full stomach because alcohol is absorbed or soaked up less quickly. Other drugs in the body have an effect on BAC. Other drugs can increase the effects of alcohol. Your mood, feeling depressed can also increase the effects of alcohol. Legal issues and zero tolerance. This is known as DUIs and DWIs. If you are under 21, it's illegal for you to buy alcohol in the United States or go into a bar to have a drink or to buy alcohol from any establishment that sells it. It is also illegal to operate a car or other motor vehicle for people who have 0.08% BAC or above. This is known as DUI, or driving under the influence, also called driving while intoxicated or impaired, DWI. Officers don't have to observe or provide evidence of your impaired driving. They only need the evidence of the blood alcohol concentration of the driver. In many states, there's a zero tolerance or no tolerance at all policy for any alcohol used by drivers under the age of 21. In many states, it's even changed to no tolerance for anyone driving with an open container of alcohol, passenger or driver. In many states, a driver younger than 21 is guilty of DUI if his or her BAC is 0.02% or more. If a teenage driver is convicted of a DUI, his or her driver's license is suspended, they're fined and jailed, and may have their cars taken away permanently by law authorities. Alcohol can harm several body systems. Drinking large quantities of alcohol over an extended period of time even can cause death. Some short-term effects of alcohol. These effects happen immediately after drinking one or more alcoholic beverages. These effects may be inhibitions. Long-term effects. They happen later in life to people who have abused alcohol for many years. This may result in problems with the testes, hepatitis, ulcers, malnutrition, dehydration, and cirrhosis. How does alcohol affect your mind? Well, drinking alcohol reduces your natural and learned inhibitions, leading to bad decisions. Disastrous consequences can follow. Crashes, injuring yourself or someone else, losing your license, getting arrested, paying a fine or going to jail, ruining your reputation, giving in to peer pressure, and taking risks, sexual risks, which may result in even worse consequences, diseases or pregnancy. Drug use, losing a friendship, feeling humiliated, getting into a fight, getting robbed. Consequences. Binge drinking. This is when anyone consumes large amounts of alcohol in a short amount of time on a regular basis. This problem is called binge drinking. Binge drinking causes BAC to rise so fast that people can pass out and sometimes die from alcohol poisoning. Signs of alcohol poisoning are confusion, vomiting, seizures, slow or irregular breathing, blue-tinged or pale skin, and unconsciousness. What should you do if you think someone may have alcohol poisoning? Call 911 immediately. Alcoholism. The term alcoholism is an illness in which people have difficulty controlling their drinking. The alcoholic's body physically needs alcohol. An alcoholic's mind craves drinking alcohol. Another term for alcoholism is alcohol dependence. When an addicted person is deprived of alcohol, he or she may have tremors, shaking or trembling, heavy sweating, and even convulsions. He or she is anxious and very irritable. A person who exhibits the signs of alcoholism becomes drunk often, drinks alone or is secretive about drinking, stops participating in other activities in order to drink, acts like a different person when drinking alcohol, makes excuses for drinking, promises to quit but doesn't, refuses to admit how much he or she drinks, and may experience blackouts, which are loss of memory of an event or period of time. There is help. Sometimes alcoholism affects more than just the alcoholic. Alcoholism can affect an entire family. Children of an alcoholic parent may feel neglected or not cared for. They may be embarrassed to bring friends home, or they could be frustrated or angry that their parent won't change, or even worse. There's Al-Anon family groups, and there's Alateen, which is an organization that helps teens who have family members or friends who are alcoholics. The programs are free, and they have a website. You can probably find them easily by doing a simple Google search. Help for those with an alcohol problem. Treatment for alcoholism is usually called recovery. Because alcoholism affects many people who are close to the alcoholic person, recovery programs often involve family members and friends. There's Alcoholics Anonymous, which is a 12-step recovery program for people who suffer from alcoholism. Alcoholics Anonymous or AA programs are free, and in most communities, there's at least one meeting held every day. People who attend AA meetings can remain anonymous. No last names are used. Influences on drinking alcohol. Many things influence our attitudes and behaviors. These influences can encourage us to drink or not drink. They can be classified as internal or external influences. How we feel about ourselves would be the strongest internal influence. External influence, whether or not our friends and members of our family drink. What our culture and religion believe about alcohol, advertising and media, and how easy it is for us to obtain alcohol. Let's look at the influences. Ourself. How do you feel about yourself? Friends. Do they drink? Do they pressure others to drink? Parents and other family members. Do they drink? How do they feel about alcohol? Other adults you admire, teachers, community or religious leaders, celebrities you admire. Do they drink? How do they feel about alcohol? Your culture or religion. What does this tell you about drinking alcohol? Advertising or media. How much does this influence you? And availability. How easy it is to obtain alcohol. Please complete your calendar. You can find it in your course home. If you need to reach me, you can do so by K-mail first and then try by phone. Thanks for joining me today. Stay tuned for tobacco, other drugs, and making a difference. If you are watching this recording, please visit this link to receive credit for today's lesson. The link is at the top of this screen. http://tinyurl.com/HSCLASS recordings.